Okay, welcome to Excel Bliss, and this is a channel meant for you. It's meant to give you vital information concerning education, and in that we have scholarships, we have how you can get visas to study abroad, how you can get loans, how you can get jobs for those who are graduates, for those who want to work abroad. So this channel is meant for you. Do well by subscribing. Please don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to click on the notification button so that anytime we have vital information to pass across, you will be notified. Migrate to the UK, a step-by-step guide. Do you want to migrate to the UK? The process can be very overwhelming, and there are a few things you need beforehand. This video will walk you through each step of the migration process. You need to know if you qualify for a visa before even starting the application process. The guide includes information on how to acquire your UK government immigration documents, which will tell you whether or not you are eligible for a visa and what type of fee is required in order to apply. How to migrate to the UK. Migrating to the United Kingdom can be a great choice for those looking for a better quality of life. The country offers many opportunities, and you can find a job that is right for your experience and skill set. There's a lot to know about the United Kingdom before making the move, so it's important to follow a step-by-step guide. One thing you will need to do is apply for a visa if you're not from the UK or don't live in one of its associated countries. The process of applying for a visa can be difficult, but it's important to gather all required documents and schedule an appointment. You will then go through an interview with an immigration officer who will determine whether or not you're granted access into the country. How to apply for a visa to migrate to the UK. So you've decided that you want to migrate to the UK? Great! Applying for a visa is your first step. Here are the steps you need to take. 1. Find a local representative office and apply there. 2. Wait for a decision on your application. 3. Check government websites for current visa application wait times. 4. Apply for a long-term work visa by following these steps. 5. It takes 15 business days to hear back from the UK on your application type. 3 to 5 if you paid for a priority application. 6. You may be eligible for a super priority process which takes 24 hours depending on which option you choose when applying for your visa type. The different types of UK visas available for migrants. There are varieties of visas available for migrants who want to move to the UK. The most common types of visas are: the Special Eligibility Visa is for the former residents of Australia who want to live in the UK permanently. The Skill Regional Category is a quota system that allows people with specific skills shortages in certain labour markets to work in the UK. The Skilled Independent Category is for those who came to the UK without sponsorship and can work for any employer. The Global Talent in brackets independent category is for self-employed individuals or freelancers working full-time or part-time in their field who wish to apply for an entry into the UK on a temporary basis from outside the European Economic Area. How to prepare for your UK visa application. When you are preparing for your visa application, it is important to be aware of the different types of wait times. The shortest wait time is 15 business days and the longest is 10 business days. If you have paid for a priority UK visa application, it can take 3 to 5 business days instead of 10 business days. You must submit your visa application to a local representative office and wait for a decision. However, if you make mistakes in your application, it will be denied. The UK Home Office denies visas if they notice tiny mistakes such as spelling errors. If you make a mistake in your visa application, you may have to start over from scratch, and this could mean waiting another 10 business days or more. Furthermore, a criminal history can also lead to visa denial. You will not be granted a UK visa if you've overstayed or applied for the wrong type of visa in the past. It is also important that you provide certain documents to show that you can support yourself financially and are able to enter the UK without causing issues for local citizens or businesses. That is, no terrorism. What to expect during the UK visa application process. When you apply for a UK visa, there are a few things you can expect. The entire process will usually take around 10 business days, but it can be expedited if you choose to pay for a priority visa. There is also an emergency option that will get your application processed in just 24 hours. However, this is only available to those who meet very specific criteria. In addition, it's important to remember that not everyone arrives in the UK ready to apply for long-term visas. The UK has a shorter wait time for an indefinite leave to remain than the United States does. And there are many different migration routes available depending on your situation. For example, if you're married to a British citizen or have children who are minors and living in the UK, then you will have an easier time obtaining residency than someone who doesn't have any of those connections. How to obtain a work permit to work in the UK. In order to work in the UK, a foreign worker must have a valid work permit. The process of obtaining a work permit is simple and straightforward. The first step is to find an employer who is willing to sponsor your visa application. Your potential employer will need to prove that they cannot find a suitable British or European citizen to fill the position. Once you have been offered a job, your employer will need to submit a sponsorship application to the Home Office. This application must include evidence of your qualifications and experience, as well as details about the job offer itself. If your visa is approved, you will be issued a work permit which allows you to live and work in the UK for up to 5 years. It's important to note that work visas for non-European citizens are hard to come by, so proving your value to potential employers is essential if you want to make the move overseas. The process for applying for settlement in the UK. If you are an European citizen and have been living in the UK before Brexit, then you may be eligible to apply for. There are a few different ways to apply: through the EU Settlement Scheme website, by post, or by phone. The benefits of migrating to the UK. The UK is a great place to migrate to because it offers a variety of benefits. For one, the country has excellent educational institutions which can provide your children with a world-class education. Additionally, the job market in the UK is thriving and there are plenty of opportunities for skilled workers. Another big benefit of migrating to the UK is that you can easily get around the country. The public transportation system is top-notch, and there are many different ways to travel between cities. Plus, English is the official language in the UK, so you won't have any trouble communicating with locals. Finally, the cost of living in the UK is relatively low when compared to other Western European countries. This means that you will be able to live comfortably on a modest budget. So if you're thinking about making the move to Europe, make sure to consider relocating to the UK. The challenges of migrating to the UK. Migrating to a new country can be daunting, but with the right preparation, it can be a smooth process. There are several things you will need to do in order to migrate to the UK, including meeting the minimum visa requirements, taking an English language proficiency test, self-test, and gathering the necessary documents for your occupation and/or university. One of the most important steps One of the most important steps is proving that you have adequate financial means to support yourself during your stay. You will also need to provide health and character references. The process of migrating can be challenging, but with careful planning, it can be a smooth transition into your new life in the UK. Tips for making a successful UK visa application. There are a few things you can do to increase your chances of having a successful visa application. First, be sure to check the UK government website for work permits and visas. These will give you a good idea of what is required for your particular situation. If you are an EU or EFTA national, you can enter the UK without a visa and have the right to live in the country if you're employed or registered as a job seeker. However, certain other nationalities must apply for a visa in order to enter and reside in the UK. The wait time for applications depends on the type of visas you are applying for. For most types of assessment time, 10 business days. However, if you paid for priority when submitting your application, wait times can be reduced to 3 to 5 business days. In emergencies, applications can be processed within 24 hours, much faster than normal applications, which take up to 5 business days.